Hi, I'm Deb from Quite Clever Quilting. Today we're going to learn about how to prepare your quilt for long arming. So you've made a quilt and you are ready to have it quilted. So let's see what we need to do. I have my quilt top right here. First thing I'm going to do is turn it on its back and check to make sure that the threads are trimmed off. If I have long threads, I just simply trim them. And I do that for the whole quilt. I want to make sure I'm paying attention to the light color fabric, because if there's threads that are showing on the light color, they're going to be showing through onto the dark. So I just do a quick trim of all of them. If you happen to have a fabric that tends to fray a lot, an easy solution is to trim it and then use a little fray check on it. You just put a little dot on the edge of the seam and it stops it from running. So now that I have the whole thing checked, my next step is I'm going to measure my quilt. I want to measure the width and the length. So I'm going to measure the width. I find that this one is 46 inches wide. And then I turn it and I measure the length. And the length on this quilt is 64 inches long. An easy way to remember how much backing I'm going to need is I need 4 inches for all four sides. So it's 4 for 4. So the one was 64, and I'll need to add 8 inches because 4 on each side. So 46 and 8 is 54. The other length was 64, so if I add the 8 inches, it becomes 72. So that's what size backing I need. If I'm using traditional, well, the regular fabric, the 45 wide is what they call it, which really measures about 42 to 40, I definitely need it longer than this because this is bigger than 40, 42. So what I did was I got 2 yards of floral fabric, and I got 1 yard of the print fabric. With the floral fabric, I cut it hot dog style. So what that is I rolled it out, and instead of cutting across the grain, I cut on the fold. So now I have fabric that is approximately 20 to 21 inches wide. I did the same for the printed fabric. I cut it down hot dog style, but I also cut it and then I put it end to end. So this is one half of the hot dog right here. Let me hold it up for you. This is the about 20 inches wide, and then down below is 20 inches wide here to here. And I sewed them on the back. When you're sewing your backing together, it's recommended to use at least a 1/2 inch wide seam. Make sure you press it open. This helps to prevent bulking up in the back for your long armor. As you can see, I've cut the salvage edges off of the seam, but I've left the salvage edges on the edge. This helps the long armor by leaving the salvage edge on. It leaves a straight seam or a straight edge in which to load the quilt onto the long arm machine. The other important piece is to make sure that the back is straight across on all sides. So it really needs to be squared up. It's frustrating for the long armor if one piece is longer than the other piece, and trying to load it onto a machine makes it challenging. So for the best results, leave salvage edge on for them and make sure that this is straight for them, square it up. So once you have that done and your seams are pressed open, you just want to fold it up neatly. You can put it on a hanger or just fold it up neatly and put it into a travel bag, both the back and the front. If you have batting, you'll want to include that. Many quilt shops sell very good quality batting. You could ask your long armor if they have batting that they would like to use. But once you have it all folded up, you make an appointment with your long armor and get the quilt finished. So we learned about long arming and how to prepare your quilt for the long armor. Remember, 4 inches for 4 sides. It's an easy way to remember it. I hope you join me again on Quite Clever Quilting on a next adventure in quilting. Thanks.